Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Rune News. I am your host, Ryan, and as always, it's bloody good to have you guys here in the audience today. Jagex is doing their 5th Game Jam development this week, which means there is no big update for Oldschool Runescape. That doesn't mean we don't have some good news for you. Today's episode is going to be a little bit unorthodox, but we're going to go through some of the Game Jam stuff that they've been sharing on Twitter so far, have a bit of a discussion, but I want to know, before we start that this week, what your favorite piece of content in the game is to complete or do or just participate in. What do you like doing in RuneScape? What makes you happy? What makes you want to log in and keep playing other than that crippling and, I guess, inevitable depression that's coming your way in life? Leave your comment in the your answer to that question, in the comment section down below. Like and subscribe while you're there. Thank you, I appreciate the support. My name is Ryan. You're watching Rune News this week on Rune News, only on Rune News, and you're watching Rune News. So like I was saying earlier, this week in Rune News, the Oldschool update is really non-existent because the J-mods are stepping away to do some Game Jam. For those who don't know what Game Jam is, it's a certain part of the year where they take 2 weeks away from hardcore development and just focusing on the game to bring us updates, and they kind of work on their own little side projects that they have personal passions about that they might want to bring to the game personally. If there's enough hype behind them, or there seems to be a lot of community interest to these updates, they will then bring them to the game. For example, Mod Ash recently in the last Game Jam developed the Rune Pouch plugin, but the Rune Pouch feature where you can fill the Rune Pouch from your inventory with the bank slots, rather than having to close the bank and then put the runes in the Rune Pouch and take them out. That's an example of something that's come from Game Jam very recently that everyone knows and loves. And this is basically just another opportunity for J-mods to put their talents together and show us what they like. So we're going to go through some of their posts that they've shared on Twitter, starting off with Mod Hand, who's been working on animations, and you've got the video playing here behind me of the new Voidwaker animation that he's been suggesting at working on. Instead of the Karazi spec, it's less of a jump and bonk on the head and more of a step, lightning, stomp, and deleting Dark Wizards outside of Varrock. Looks good. I like that animation more than the current Voidwaker methods. I think they want to kind of try and refine some animations in the game to make it look a bit more enjoyable and less of everyone doing the exact same thing, where you've got the Voidwaker and the Fang spec being incredibly identical in terms of how the character is animating that attack. But then we've got another post by Mod Halo. Did I say Hend? What did I say? I did say Mod Hend, sorry. This is Mod Halo here. Mod Halo and Mod Arcane have been working on locking inventory slots. So basically, as you can see behind me, there's red squares. This is a setting that they're going to add to the bank tab. I'm pretty sure there's a Runelight plugin that can do this. I could be wrong though. But basically, these red squares, you turn on the settings in the bank tab there, click lock slots, and then all of a sudden you pull something out. When you right click, go lock slot, and now depositing all, or left clicking it simply won't deposit it, which just allows it to make it a bit easier when you're skilling and I guess bank standing, doing boring shit at the bank. I personally am a fan of that because I tend to want to click in deposit all, but then it deposits my knife when I'm cutting logs or whatever. So that's a nice little update. I'm sure that's going to come to the game very soon. Seems pretty simple for them to implement. What else we got here? Another one from Mod Hand. Another animation. Excuse me. Apparently Darok's Great Axe doesn't have a run animation. Now it does. So I have no idea. I actually don't know if that's. I don't know what it's like running with Darok's gear on. I can't recall it. So that's just something that he worked on that I thought I would share. Next, we have Mod Husky. He's got a couple of posts here. He's been working on a collection log, basically a log is the best way to explain it. This is where you're actually going to be rewarded for collection logs. There's going to be high scores for collection logs, and it's actually going to be more of a competitive nature behind clogging in the game rather than just people doing it on third-party websites. So this is the interface that we're looking at here. I'll try and make it full screen. Sorry, it's a bit clunky, but yeah, that's better. You know, it's slightly closer to your face. But it looks like this essentially is going to be separating the collection logs into different categories. You're going to have different ranks and a progression through the log, and then your ranks being black and mithril, and then obviously the progression to the next rank. So that's kind of nice. It kind of brings that combat achievement element to collection logging, which some people enjoy, and I can't see why that's anything negative for the game. There's another post for him. From him that he's made. This is the staff that they're working on as a reward, which will be upgraded for each tier of collection log. I believe this was originally like a Reddit post someone came up with for collection logging, to have different staffs and scepters to represent how far through the collection log you are, so people can actually see how much you've progressed in collected on the account. You've got Rune here, the GIF is going through, you've got Dragon stuff and so on. It's likely we're going to see this in the near future coming to the game. That would be Gilded, I'd imagine, maybe. And then back to Bronze. So I am a fan of it. I like it. I mean, personally, you're never going to see anything negative coming to the game with this sort of stuff. It's just another way for people to interact and progress the game and feel a sense of achievement, which is nothing but a big dub. And we have a final post by Mod Husky, which is allowing you to resize the collection log windows as well, which is just like the standard quality of life shit you should already be able to do in 2024 in any game. So them being able to do this for us would obviously be massive, and I'm sure we'll see improvements like that coming to the game very soon. This is just easy benefits on Game Jam that gives devs time to work on things that they normally wouldn't have time to work on. So this is a fat dub for all of us. Not bad for missing an update once a year or once every few months. Next, we got a Mod Necro here, and what the fuck is this? Loadouts. Right, so there you go. Enough said. I don't need to really share anything else. It's just all in GIF format, so I can't make it bigger, I don't think. But loadouts, custom loadouts, so you can just have your gear equipped when you're in the bank. I don't think you need a bank tab open. Oh, you do. Yeah, 56 out of 800. Yeah. So bank tab open. You just have your loadout set. 5 loadouts for 5 different kinds of gaming. So why is he wearing Barrow's gloves when he's farming? That's what I want to know. Check the graceful set out again. Hold on, wait for it to come through. It'll come through. Some of these layouts are a little interesting. There you go. What the fuck is that? Come on, man. Graceful. Next up, we got Mod Rice. Some of these mods I don't even know exist. I don't know who Mod Rice is. Never heard of him. But what he's got here is basically, this is the proposal. Using charges on corruptible items gives progress towards corrupting them. Okay. Yeah, that's how it works with Crystal, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure. Items can be toggled to auto-charge to a desired threshold when withdrawn from the bank. Okay, so basically he's putting in 4674 for the shadow, puts the shadow in the bank, and when he withdraws it, the shadow is automatically charged. Right, I see. That's pretty cool. So that way, every time you pull your weapon out, it's already charged, ready to go, so you never have it uncharged, or you never run out of charges unless you don't have the stuff to charge it in the bank. That's actually really fucking good. We need that. I like that. And then a rare drop from Tob that allows Viwell in the player in house. That's kind of irrelevant because you have the teleport to Tob, which is right next to it. But I mean, if it makes the house look nicer and you can have more shit in the player in house, then why not? I won't complain. But I like this auto charge feature from withdrawing from the bank. That's actually fat as fuck. I like that. Bring that to the game. Yes, sir. Finally, we have Mod Jerv working on continuing the player in house customization for wilderness theme stuff. So we'll just pull up the pictures here so you can have a quick gaze. Wilderness player in house portals, well, themes in general. I kind of like it, to be honest. It looks nice and dead and dark. The PvP themes, so the magic themes in the, what's that, the boxing rings. You've got benches, and then you've got curtains and rugs. All PvP, all like wilderness themed, god themed, for example, there as well. That's kind of nice. Nice little designs that I'm sure they're going to bring to the game. I'm sure more, well, different house designs would be something that a lot of players are going to enjoy. I personally don't give a fuck, but I mean, the wilderness portal isn't actually too bad, to be honest. I fuck with that. I kind of like it. It's not too bad. And that's really all that I could gather in the short period of time that I could for the Game Jam. I'm sure there was more concepts, and I'm sure there was a lot more information. But I just kind of wanted to not miss a week of Rune News, for one, obviously, but also just share what the J-Mods have been working on, because I know some of you guys aren't in the Twitter scene, which don't get into the Twitter scene in Runescape. Please, for the love of God, it is fucking cancer. But you guys might still want to see what the J-Mods are up to and what they're posting that you won't typically see on their website, because they won't post this stuff on the website, at least anytime soon, until I guess the Game Jam's up. They might give you a rundown of what they've been showing. I don't know if they're going to show all of this, so I thought I'd just showcase it. Let you guys know that even though there's no update, there is still work being done in the background, and that Rune News. This week, Oldschool RuneScape had 0 updates, not even one. The server was down for half an hour and it's back up, and you got nothing in return, and that is still better than anything RuneScape 3 could produce in its lifetime, because RuneScape 3 is fucking dog shit. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Grand Exchange segment for Rune News. Now, unlike the Oldschool RuneScape updates, even if there's no update, the Grand Exchange never stops, and there's never a bad time to make money. This week, we got the Elder Mall, and it's continuing to climb like we said last week. Next week, we'll be reviewing it likely again. We're expecting a 130 mil buff. This is continuing to rise. The 30-day average is sitting at about 91 mil. We're looking at 130 to 140 by the end of the 2-week period, I guess, from now. The Elder Maul is likely to sit at around 120 to 140 and be an acceptable weapon, considering it is now the best defense draining spec weapon in the game once the update comes to the game. Elder Maul's a good buy. Elder Maul is good loot. Invest if you want, to be honest. It's probably not going to change too much. It's a fucking good weapon. It's about to get even better. Now, the Dagenhai robe set was recently had a bit of controversy over the new mage rebalance. It gained a bit of traction, had some spiking, and it's driven back down because really, let's be honest, at the end of the day, it didn't matter if you used Dagenhai or not. The people were just profiting off of it for everyone else's stupidity because Magic wasn't changing with the occult nerf. Magic's now getting slightly, very slightly better with the occult nerf. Unless you're using a shadow, then you're 1% better off, I think, but 3% better off without the shadow. So the Dagenhai hype was more just people seeing it in the news and going, wow, gotta buy Dagenhai, and now they're losing out on money. So don't spend any money on this set at the moment. It's likely to plateau back out around the 3 mil mark by the end of next month. The Voidwaker had a similar, I guess, lapse in judgment here. Obviously, with people seeing that the Voidwaker was going to be nerfed, and now they're not nerfing it, and now it's back up to where it should be roughly. I think we're going to see it around 100 to 110 mil eventually, plateauing out as more content comes to the game. With the Dragon Claws moving to the Tormented Demon, I guess, variants from Wild Gothic Sleeps, I'm not sure how that's going to affect the Voidwaker at this rate, but as new content and PVM bosses come to the game, the Voidwaker is likely to see a spike on at least release dates of new content. So keep an eye on this weapon. I would highly recommend investing at this price. And finally, of course, the Mole Slippers are back on the rise. There's been a bit of a hiccup here and there of Project Rebalance, people not knowing where to go, where to sit. Now that the Eternal Boots are confirmed to be 1% magic damage boost, they still continue to never be better than the Mole Slippers. So the Mole Slippers are the way to go. And if you want to make some money and a quick buck with the Mole Slippers, you invest yourself today at 1.1 mil a pair. You're going to start off here because this is going to start rising. It's going to be peaking around here by the end of next week. Hopefully that's the plan at least. I mean, I'm not invested because that would be illegal and morally incorrect, and I'm an Ironman, so I don't invest personally. But the sooner you buy your Mole Slippers and the sooner you tell your friends, the more your Mole Slippers are worth. Buy your Mole Slippers today and become a rich cunt tomorrow. My name is Wade Green, ladies and gentlemen, and that is it for the Grand Exchange update this week for Rune News. Be a good cunt. Our first Iron Man moment for the week goes to Neon Tifa, who has 86 top KC, even worse, and he's got 12 Avernix and 1 Rapier. That is his purple count right there. I don't know if he's an Iron Man. I kind of hope he is because that is some of the most insufferable shit I've ever seen. But 12 Avernix, not even a piece of Justy. 12 Avernix, 1 Rapier. Sit the fuck down. Next up, we have someone getting an Abyssal Whip. I don't know if they're an Iron Man. I don't know who they are. They can't take a screenshot to save their lives. Congratulations on the whip. But they're not even playing Runelight, I don't think, which is wild. So, GZ, and yeah, nice work on the whip, whoever you are. And finally, everyone's well-known and least favorite racist in the community, Oomph, has sent a screenshot of Vardorvis. He was complaining about some sort of drop rate or some sort of drop that he got, but the screenshot he took is too big, terrible, and I don't resize screenshots, you guys know me, so I don't know what we're sharing, and I don't really care, because that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Rune News for the night. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ryan Ryan. I appreciate you guys coming by to Rune News this week, even though we didn't get a big update from Jagex or any update, but this is still Rune News, and we'll be back next week with more Rune News. My name is Ryan Ryan. Thank you for watching Rune News, and you're watching Rune News. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy. It's huge. You got a big boy.